Good morning and welcome to everybody online. We will be starting in approximately 6 or 7 minutes, just allowing people to settle in before we get started properly. Many thanks for your patience. Just a quick one, if I may. Just we will be starting in approximately 5 minutes for everybody online. Thank you very much for your patience. Just going to allow a few more minutes just for people to get in and get settled. As you can see on your screen, there is a QR code. If you scan that QR code, fill in some of the details, it will enable us as a Growth Hub to serve you better. And obviously, just after this, we will get in contact with you and obviously take your support further. Many thanks.
Yeah, did you? You said PowerPoint is here.
Oh, you could have done, yeah.
I'm on the blue badge.
Yeah, I think blue badge is fine. If you're blue badge, fine.
Right, one after like 10 minutes, though, is that all right?
Okay, let's get started if we may. So good morning and welcome to everybody for this Kenton Medway Growth Hub workshop on social media marketing. As you can see, there is a QR code on your screen. If you scan that, fill in some details, we can support you better after this webinar, as in, like I said, we are a growth hub, so we can give you a call back and support you further with any more needs that you may have as an SME in Kent and Medway. We will be getting started shortly. I will introduce the main speaker. But I'd just like to bring your attention that this is a hybrid webinar that is being recorded, so it can be viewed later on. With regards to Q&As for the people online, I invite you to put your Q&As in the top right-hand corner of the Zoom portal. I will represent you in person in the here. And yeah, like I said, just put your questions in there and I will ask them on your behalf. Just like to say a quick thank you to the Bluebirds event space for the use of this fantastic venue. So if you can contact myself or the Growth Hub for details about this venue, and we would be glad to share them with you. My name is Brian Pennell, and I'm delighted to be your host today. So without further ado, I would like to hand over to Tom Cakebread from Cakebread Media, who is the main presenter. So just use your just to give it a go now, so to make sure it all works. Lovely, it's working. I'm happy.
Thank you very much indeed. So, name of the business, Cake Shop Media, not Cakebread Media, just to clear that up. But thank you very much for joining us today, both online and in person. So, I run a digital marketing agency here in Dover, and what we're going to do today is talk about organic social media marketing. So, who we are. So our mission statement is to increase the digital presence of UK businesses through content creation, optimization, and paid advertising, saving businesses time whilst empowering them with digital marketing knowledge. And a few achievements to date. We started the business nearly 5 years ago now, off the back of COVID. We've had more than 30 million client views across TikTok and Instagram Reels, as well as Facebook Reels. That doesn't actually include YouTube Shorts, so that number has actually gone a lot more. Multiple videos have gone viral, which we'll pick up on later on during the process. I've been lucky enough to work with YouTubers, professional football clubs, and I've had content shared by Lad Bible Australia, Jeremy Vine from the BBC, as well as a content creator there by the name of Ali right in the corner. And the photo there is when we won the contract to work with Ali, which was a massive achievement barely 1 year into our business. So every time I do a presentation like this, I always like to explain who I am and why I run this business. So I'm married to Amy, my wife, for just over 10 years now. Been together slightly longer than that. My eldest boy, Cohen, on the left is nearly 13, 2 days before Christmas. Rafe, with the Tottenham manager there, big football fan. I've managed to run into him outside the training ground. So Rafe's 10. And then Indy, she is 6, and she's just started getting into the world of Pokemon and Pikachu, and yeah, she's brilliant, and they're the reason why I run the business and try and do as well as I possibly can. But outside of work, what are my vices? Running a business is a 24/7 job, but you need to have some escape. So I love playing football. I still play football now. I'm signed onto a men's Sunday league team as well as a vets Saturday team because I'm over the age of 35. I love going to watch wrestling, professional wrestling. I've got for those who can see, I've got my John Cena t-shirt here today, which is just something unique. I love professional wrestling. That photo there was taken in France. I took both of my boys there in August to go watch John Cena wrestle. That was one of our achievements done in life. And I've recently started getting into collecting Pokemon cards as well. And that card there, I pulled from a pack from a shop in Folkestone. In its raw form is worth £400. We've sent it off to a grading place in America. If it comes back, it could be worth £1,800 if it's 10 out of 10. So, yeah, really interesting in doing those 2 activities outside of work. So that was just a bit about me, but what we're going to do is today, I'm going to speak about organic social media marketing and how to make the most out of it. And we're going to start with the platforms that we work with predominantly. So we work with Facebook, we work with Instagram. In the last few years, we've been working more and more with TikTok, as well as LinkedIn. We do get involved with YouTube Shorts as well. YouTube Shorts has really blown up in the last few years. And it's definitely a viable alternative to uploading very, very long videos in long form to YouTube. YouTube Shorts is all about the short form content. So won't be touching on that today, but I do recommend doing some research onto it, as well as it being another viable platform for your social media marketing. But our best tip, do not use X. Do not use Twitter. It is a wild west of some of the worst things you could ever see on social media. And coming from an organic social media marketing expert, that is saying something. So please don't use X. We don't recommend it. We don't recommend using it for paid advertising. It is not the platform it was. Do not waste your time. So what we're going to do is today in this presentation, we're going to go through the social media platforms that we work with, the benefits of each, how we optimize every single post. Now, when I say optimize, it's a word which is used a lot in the digital marketing world. Basically, when we optimize something, we increase its reach. We increase the amount of people it can be seen to by doing certain activities. You may have heard of search engine optimization. That is updating web pages and really kind of tickling Google under the chin, if you will, with little hints here and there as perfectly positioned functions and features to encourage both Google as well as the social media giants to push your content to a lot more people. So we're going to start with Facebook. Facebook is the original social media platform. I remember going back to school. I created my first ever Facebook account profile when I was just coming out of secondary school. That's how long it's been around. And gone are the days of MySpace and Bebo and Vine. And Facebook was the one which stuck around and has longevity. When I was working for a business, actually a few shops down, I really championed the fact they should be on social media. This was around about 2012. And it was a really, really interesting experience because there was no Facebook business pages around at the time. It was all Facebook profiles. So we created that before business really got into the world of Facebook. And it was really one of the first kind of forms of marketing that I did in my marketing career. But as we've said there, it is still the most used platform for local businesses, especially the 35 to 65 age group. It's great for building community and trust with consistent content, and it's ideal for event promotion as well as increasing local visibility via groups. Facebook groups are kind of an unsung hero, if you will, because previously you could only join and post in a Facebook group if you was the Facebook profile, so your own personal profile. But in the last few years, business pages have actually allowed you to switch between a personal and a business page. And actually, when you switch to the business page, you have all the same functions and features as if you were to use a personal profile. So you can interact and engage as your Facebook business post, your business page, apologies. You can join Facebook business groups as your business page, and you can share posts directly into local communities. For example, there are a number of local community groups in your town, in your village. I'm from Dover, I'm from the area. We have Dover for Dovorians. We have Dover for disgruntled Dovorians. If you want to share something in there about your business to people who live within your town and you have a local service, more and more people are going to see it that way. And I really recommend taking advantage of groups. You can even go further with community groups. We have one of my clients here, Inky Dinky Saddle, on the screen. What Inky Dinky Saddle is, they are a one-of-a-kind, unique, treeless child's saddle, which as the child grows, the saddle evolves with it. So effectively, you will buy the saddle from the age of 2, 3, 4. That same saddle will be with you up until the age of 18. So naturally, who do we want to put that in front of? Horse mums, horse dads, anyone in the horse community, horse riding equestrian. And there are plenty of Facebook groups of mums, dads, parents who love horse riding, and they're going to be looking for their first saddle for their child when it's safe enough to ride. And that's where Facebook groups are really, really, really good market to post any content that you want. So a few top tips to optimize. As we mentioned there, use Facebook groups. Share content where your audience is already hanging out. Doesn't necessarily have to be location specific. It can be interests. As I mentioned before, I'm a big wrestling fan. So if I want to share any content about wrestling, I will go and find local wrestling groups. If I want to share anything about digital marketing, I will go find local digital marketing groups, even nationwide digital marketing groups. Always post native content. What we mean by that is Facebook hates links. We do not want, I say we, Facebook, I don't work for them. Facebook does not want you to leave its profile, leave its platform. So anytime that there is a link built into any of the posts, there is a slight chance that the post won't go as far as if there wasn't a link, because you're taking someone away from their platform. They naturally won't push it in front of many people. In all my years of doing social media, it's not a massive thing when it comes to Facebook. However, a nice little way to get around that is by putting the link in the comments. So the call to action at the very end of the post will be, if you fancy coming along, look at the link in the comments. The algorithm will review that post. It won't detect a link, and you've actually kind of beaten it by putting it into the comments. So that's a really helpful tip I recommend. Timing. Early morning and early evening work best, but the key thing is to experiment. I'm going to say this clear. There is no perfect time, or there is no ideal time to post on social media. It all depends on your followers. With insights. Yeah.
You say,
No problem at all. So what we do is I use a common sense basis. So I know that if I'm going to post at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, predominantly the people who are going to be on their phones looking at my content will be parents picking their kids up from school if they're waiting by the school gates. The majority of people are going to be at work, so they're not going to see it until probably later on. And what we mean by experiment is review it over a certain period of time. There's a lovely graph on Facebook as well as other social media platforms. It actually shows how well it does over a certain period of time, hours, days. For me, following on to that timing optimization point, as well as your comment, always do common sense. I find for me, posting the best times on Facebook are in the evenings, when people after dinner, maybe getting their kids ready for bed, or they just want to chill out on their phones, alternatively even later. There's a fantastic scheduling tool on Facebook where it actually gives you an optimized time based on the previous week when your audience was online. For example, Thursday, 6 p.m. on Facebook, but on Instagram, it could be Thursday at 1 p.m. So always take those suggestions into account. All right. Anytime you can engage with your audience, engagement is a key driver of reach, increasing awareness. Use polls, Q&As, events. Facebook wants you to use their engagement tools. And the more that people that engage with it, the social media platforms will then push that in front of more people to engage with it. Don't forget your profile. This is a really key one. Have you optimized your profile? You'll notice here, this is another one of my clients, SGS Energy. They're based in Ramsgate. It says what they do in that bio: powering Kent and the Southeast with clean energy, accredited experts in solar, battery storage, air source, etc. They've put in the location they cover, what they do, what services they offer, as well as a few USPs, family run, Octopus trusted partners. Optimize your bio with the keywords you want to be found. For example, for me, digital marketing agency, social media agency, Kent, Dover. It's just a few things that will help put your account into more people. Reply to comments. It seems a simple one when it comes to engagement, but actually a lot of people will just go, I'll leave that. People are commenting, someone else will comment. No, start a conversation with them. Even negative comments. Negative comments are actually a really good engagement driver. You could put up a piece of content which is really, really opinionated, and you'll have negative comments. For example, SGS Energy, we had a video, 1.3 million views, about an EV charger that was for homes without a drive. Went over the pavement like that. People commented, won't take off. The copper will be nicked within an hour. And we responded, well, why? Tell us why. That started a conversation. That post grew and grew and grew. but also be human. People engage and do business with people. They do not do business with businesses. If you can avoid it, don't over graphic your social media assets. Just do a simple post of yourself. They will want to do business with the person running the social media page instead of a lovely graphic created on Canva or Adobe. Just a bit worried for time. So I'm going to slightly gloss through some of these as well because there's a lot to go through. But have a think. Who here still uses Facebook personally? So how often do you post on your personal Facebook? But then compare that to who is actually actively posting on your business page. How many times are you posting on your business page? Because you'll probably find I'm posting a lot here because it's about my life, my personal life. I'm confident in that. But I'm not really posting about my business because I don't know what to post. The same thing connects to your thinking for posting about your life to your business. Just put content out there, test. The key thing here is that all posts on social media have a timestamp. I'm part of a networking group and they say, well, we don't know who needs social media. How can we give you a good lead? I said, every single social media post on Facebook has a timestamp. If I notice that a business hasn't posted in a week, 2 weeks, a month, and then the post before that is the same gap, I want to speak to that person because Facebook is all about, and social media is all about posting consistently. From a customer perspective, if I'm doing research on a business and I notice that they haven't posted in a month, yet I want to contact them. And a lot of people don't like ringing now. They don't like emails. They don't like filling out contact forms. They prefer social media. If I see from a customer perspective that somebody has not posted consistently enough and I want to send them a message, I won't send them a message because I don't have the confidence that they're going to respond to my inquiry on time. So do you know what I'll do? I'll go to a competitor. Make sure the gap between posting is minimal. That doesn't mean every single day. It just means don't neglect it from a week or month perspective. This video here now, I create this in a separate program, so I can't play the video. But one thing we've mentioned here with my client, which is a very simple cafe down in Hythe. What we've done here, how have we made this work and reach a lot of people? It's got, at the time of the screenshot, 132 likes, 2 comments, 1 share. Now, at the very top, you'll notice it says 24 Cafe Restaurant in Hythe. I've clearly tagged the location. That's where they are. On the video itself, we've mentioned customer, a key word for any hospitality business. And within the video, we've included cakes, a little menu behind, subtle little hints. Now, this video, really gutted that I can't show it because it's a really funny video. But effectively, you're going, things you should never do when you have a customer. So you're expecting to give an educational piece. But then the funny flip on that is there is a customer stood there watching the young lady do this. So things you shouldn't do, well, if you're waiting to be served, you don't want to be there doing this. And that's why that video took off really well. So to kind of cover all this, Facebook isn't dead. A lot of people do think it is because we've grown up with it. It is just evolved from a personal profile to a massive business hub. I like this sort of thing here. Think of it as your local pub. You don't always go in to buy something, but you do go in to see what happens. Your business just needs to be there when people want to buy something. So if you're not within the conversation on Facebook with your business, you will be missing out. So we're going to move on to Instagram if there's no questions online, Brian. Okay. Yep.
Can we reiterate what was the question from yourself, please, sir?
How to test posting times.
Yes. Yeah. Once you the experiment. Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, Emma West, please can you, what the question was? So if you could reiterate that one very briefly, that would be appreciated.
Yep. So when it comes to posting times, there is no best time. It's a case of just experiment. What gets the most reaction? What gets the most reach? Go back to the post after 2-3 hours, have a look, see how it's doing. Always use common sense. Have a think, when are you on social media at your most? Everyone starts going to work 8-9 o'clock. I would not post between 9 and 12 o'clock, for example. I'd post midday. It will go for an hour. Then it might drop off till the evening. Just use common sense when it comes to posting times. Yep.
Graham Broadbent. I'm curious whether scheduling app may be causing lower engagement and what can be done to improve it. Since we started using OneUp, interaction seems to have dipped.
Okay.
We use it because I'm juggling content for two businesses across multiple platforms, but I'm wondering if it's having an impact.
Okay.
Graham Broadbent, that one was.
So every time you post from an admin perspective, it shows who's posted or what platform has posted. You can't see that from a front end perspective. I always use the Meta scheduling app on the insights section. So Meta Business Suite, it has its own free scheduling tool. I've never put any money into a paid scheduling tool because Meta's done it for me all the time. Instagram's built into it now. TikTok's slowly building into it. It's not consistent across every single every person's platform. But if you can use the social media platforms scheduling tools, I would highly recommend that than outsourcing it to a third party. Yep.
Carly Fry, what are your thoughts on automatically pushing Instagram posts to also be posted on Facebook?
It's a time saver. However, there are certain ways of optimizing the post that I would recommend you do it within the Facebook app compared to doing it in the Instagram app and then just shuffling it across to Facebook at the same time. You can do it. I would highly recommend updating your post individually on all those platforms instead of going onto Instagram, a load of hashtags, and then it copying over to Facebook. There's nothing users hate more on Facebook than seeing a load of hashtags, because hashtags do not have the same effect on Facebook as they do, or as they used to do on Instagram, which will go into my next section. Anything else? Perfect. So Instagram is your online brochure. Someone described it to me the other day as you used to get those Freeman catalogs delivered to your door. Effectively, that's what Instagram is now. It's all aesthetic. If you have an aesthetic business, Instagram is perfect for you. Reels work really well. And a reel is a version of a TikTok. It's just the name for their short form video. Anything behind the scenes, anything raw, anything authentic will do really, really well on Instagram. And it's a really good platform for strong brand building potential when consistent. The way our business works, we have an acronym, ARC, A-R-C, active, relevant, and then consistent. First things first, you've got to be active on social media. You've got to be consistent for it to work. Relevant equals trending. When something is relevant on social media, their algorithm will push it to more people to give their opinion on it, which means you have the possibility to reach a lot more people. So top tips, and I don't know if you can see on this screenshot, first, more for the people in the room. At the very, very bottom, the middle of the screen on there, it says in a grey box, you can only add 3 hashtags to your caption. For years, you could have up to 30. However, as time's gone on, the social media platforms have switched from categorizing your post in the form of a hashtag to the quality of the content you're writing. Incorporate keywords into your post. So what they've done is now they've said 3 hashtags to your caption. That's it. It's got to relate to your post. Reels is the #1 driver when it comes to growth on Instagram. Image posts are great. Carousels are fantastic for engagement. Excuse me, because a swipe is an engagement. But when it comes to Reels, Reels organically get pushed higher than anything. Now, that doesn't mean you have to create a lovely, fancy, brilliantly organized video. No. Before I arrived here today, I just did a post to the camera just saying, I'm here today. This is what I'm doing. I'm really excited. And that's it. Pushed it to they include the search terms, and it will do very, very well. Geotags. Same as the Facebook post I showed you a few slides back about the cafe in Hythe. If you're a local business, much like the guys here at Bluebirds, you want to get people in through the door for your events. That is localization. That is local marketing. Always include a geotag. Dover. If you want to include the road, Snargate Street. It would be very specific in terms of searching it. I'd probably just go Dover.
Is that different to a hashtag? Geotag?
Yep. So a hashtag is when you categorize a post. It's effectively a category. The geotag, it's its own landing page, and it will show every single post that has included the location. So if you go Dover, it will show every single post from the most recent one of people who are posting from Dover. And that's really good because from a perspective of comparing it to London, for example, there'll be millions of people posting about London every single day, tourists, locals, people going to work. That post has probably got a shelf life of a couple of seconds. If it's Dover, that post could be on the first 9 posts for, I don't know, an hour, 4 hours, 8 hours. So you've got more longevity, and it's another way to reach new people. And as you mentioned there, 3 hashtags max. Instagram now recommends fewer. Use locations as well as niche hashtags that relate to the content. Where you can, use something called alt text for SEO. I mentioned search engine optimization earlier on. What alt text is, it's a little description of the image in the background so that when the algorithm reads it, it understands the context of the post. Now, for those looking on the screen and those in the room, my very, very top left post where I've got it in yellow saying costing you leads, I could discuss SEO. I can include digital marketing agency Kent offering SEO services, for example. Reply to DMs and any content and any comments very, very quickly. Instagram ranks your content higher based on your interactions. Facebook and Instagram, they have long shelf life. As soon as you upload it, it's in social media forever until you delete it. There's something called a story. A story has a 24-hour shelf life. If you're promoting an offer for 24 hours only, it's the final 24 hours, grab it while you can, and you post it at 7 a.m. today, come 7 a.m. tomorrow, that offer will be gone and it will be archived. Yes.
Clients just asked, how do you add a geo tag just on the Instagram? Could you reiterate that, please?
Yeah, not a problem at all. I don't have the screenshots right now, but when you go through the process here, it says where it says you can only add 3 hashtags per caption. This is where you build out your post. The keyboard there is when I've been writing my caption. When that disappears, it gives you a few final checklists to do before you press post. One of those is location, tag a location. When you select that option, it will allow you to type the location where you want the post to appear or be tagged. Simply select that and then press save and then press post. Okay. The great thing about stories is they are all archived. So you have the ability to create something called a highlight. A highlight is your best bits. Effectively, it's a lovely slideshow of everything that you've posted on stories. I highly recommend using that because it's another way of putting content to people. And the key one I've mentioned there, use your face. Authentic content is better than polished perfection. This is my feed here. You can probably see from all of those posts, 4 do not include my face. And that's it. I want people to recognize my face and go, Tom's put something else up. That's really valuable. Yes.
How do you find hashtags? Which ones do you use?
Sure. All depends on your business. It is a research game. If you start typing hashtags, it will then slowly start to whittle away ones which don't relate to you. For example, if I start writing hashtag D, it could be D, dog, Doncaster, O-V-E-R, Dover, perfect. Then it'll start going Dover, Kent, Dover, UK, Dover Athletic, that sort of thing. So depending on your line of business, start typing the words, your keywords, and then see what pops up. There used to be a really cool feature, which I think they've removed now, where it actually said how many posts there were per hashtag. So if it was a very popular hashtag, say 500,000, a million, it could be very varied, very wide. Whereas what you want to do is if you're targeting a customer, say, and I'm going SEO services Kent or social media agency Dover Kent, that's very specific. And I know that if someone's searching for that, I want to be within that conversation. Okay. So things to consider. Instagram really does help you succeed or attempt to succeed on social media. These are insights. What these insights show me here, we have a maximum of a 3-month period to review insights. The dark purple is followers. How many followers or percentage of followers have seen the content? The light purple is how many non-followers. That's the key one. How many people or how many users has my post reached? I want to see that light purple going all the way round and round and round. And from the stats here, it says 51.6 are followers and 48.4 are non-followers. Apologies, got the colors the wrong way around. So I want to see that dark blue coming more around there, which means my social media marketing is doing well and it's reaching newer people, people that don't follow me. And there's possibility for me to, get more business, increase my reach. What you can also see there is this probably isn't the best example to use, but posts. Now, this client doesn't do reels. It's just not in the budget they chose or the package they chose. So we don't do that. That's the very bottom option. 4% have come from reels. Posts and stories, 55.6 and 39.9. And actually, stories, more non-followers have seen stories, which is really quite unique because stories are predominantly for followers. Okay. When you're creating not just a video now, but an image, use trending songs on Instagram. The best way to identify this is that trending songs, when you search for them in the music library, have an arrow pointing upwards, which means it's trending. It's a very, very easy visual to see. If you use a trending song on your image or on your video, the algorithm will push that post to more people just from the music alone. One we're doing at the minute is a lot of Christmas stuff and the Mariah Carey song, It's Time. We tend to see that video is being posted to a good couple of thousand people within the first 5 minutes before it starts to slow down based on the content. But definitely try and use trending audio while you can. So another question to ask yourself, if somebody found your Instagram account today, would they know what you do? Would they trust you enough to message? And would they hit follow and join your community? On my platform here, for my bio, what I've done is to try to include all my keywords as necessary. Experts in all things digital marketing, 30 million views on TikTok and Reels, top quality websites, members of BNI and Kent Chamber of Commerce. So we've incorporated Kent, we've incorporated digital marketing, we've incorporated Reels, TikTok. Tweak it around a bit. Look at your insights. See how people find you and follow you. And again, a couple more questions to ask yourself. Who posts more stories than on the grid? Which is a lot more common. People will just go, I'm going to post a story. It's got 24-hour shelf life. I'm going to tell a story, go behind the scenes. Boom, done. But people will get quite afraid of posting non-polished content. Yes, Brian.
So from Judith, please explain the difference between follow and like.
Sure, not a problem. A like is someone engaging with your piece of content. That's all it is. Like, love heart, sad, angry. They are appreciating that piece of content only. When they follow you, what they're actually doing is they're committing to joining your community to see all of your posts. And the algorithm will put their posts in front of you more and more and more. If you engage more with them, every time you open your app, that brand, that business will be at the top of their feed more often than not. Yep.
Barley Fry, do you have advice on how to lay out the bio, list or paragraph?
There isn't a perfect way. However, make the content as easily digestible as possible. Nobody wants to read a massive paragraph. People would rather read 5-6 word lines. Include emojis. As soon as my eyes are drawn to color and an icon, I know exactly what it relates to. And I can tell in the first couple of seconds whether or not I'm going to be interested in that business or if that business is actually for me, depending on what they are. So there's no way, but you do only have 160 characters from memory. I will confirm that. Yep.
So AI guys are doing well today. So Holly Banfield, what are your thoughts on using AI to help with ideas for Reels?
We use ChatGPT to help generate ideas if we're having a brain block. We have a good number of clients who require a good number of pieces of content every single month. My brain, as creative as it can be, can never come up with that much content. So we do use AI for brainstorming ideas based on what's required and what we've done previously and what we're looking to do. One thing I would say is do not use AI or any form of AI to write your copy and your content. It is not you. And the best way for me to describe this is If I see that ChatGPT has created this lovely, elegant, happy post, but I know for a fact that actually behind the scenes, you don't speak like that and you're not that happy and you're not that positive, I'm going to know that you're probably lying and it's not you. It's not authentic. So for me, never create written copy on ChatGPT. Always comes from you. Little tip, I like to get my phone, which is over there. I like to record myself into my microphone saying what I want to say. And then I will listen back to it and type it down exactly how I've said it. And then people who know me, they will go, that really sounds like Tom. Okay. So if you haven't posted on Reels yet, give it a go. It will boost yourself. Always remember, though, to include copy. We see lots of Reels where it's just a reel uploaded, but there's no accompanying copy. There should always be copy because you have the ability to put in your keywords. I just said there, Canva versus CapCut versus Instagram. Canva is a $10.99 per month graphic design tool. It's brilliant. It's so simple. CapCut is a video editing tool, $8.99 per month. Has so many features. Highly recommend it if you're going to get into it. Instagram does have some good features. For me, I don't use the Instagram platform to upload posts or create posts within the platform. I will create outside on CapCut or Canva, upload it that way. So overall, Instagram isn't about having a perfect grid. It's about showing up. It's about being clear and letting people get to know the real you behind the brand. Your next customer might not like your latest reel, but their partner might share it. Okay. So TikTok, how are we doing for time? Sorry, Brian as well? Yep, perfect. TikTok. I love TikTok. Yes.
Question from online, Richard Austin. Are there any legal issues with using songs on business posts, reels?
Professionally, yes. However, billions of people use them. No one, to my knowledge, has ever had a copyright infringement put to them based on a song that's on Instagram or social media or being used. So for me, no. What I would say is if you have a business profile, your song choice is limited unless you grow and grow and grow. You will be given royalty-free music. If you're a personal Instagram page, you will have the ability to non-royalty free music from your favorite bands, your favorite artists. A lot of mine is the Smiths, the Stereophonics, Oasis, Rage Against the Machine. They're all on mine because I've been posting for so long, but I know when I take over other accounts, all they will have is royalty-free music of Christmas baubles and summer acoustic guitar, very boring. But yeah, in answer to the question, there has never been an issue from anyone that I've ever heard of using a song for social media marketing. So TikTok, quick story. My son, at the age of 7, created a TikTok account at the beginning of COVID and posted everything about FIFA opening packs. I thought, what's this platform? And I only joined up just to see what he was doing. He somehow amassed 10,000 followers in 3 months. That's the power of TikTok. He didn't show his face. He just showed what he was opening on his PlayStation. And I found that tremendous. And so I signed up to it just to see what was going on. And since then, I've never deleted it yet. It is addictive and it's a very good platform now. And actually, it's kind of come from nowhere as an underdog to challenge the likes of Facebook and Instagram. And TikTok might not be the original creator of short form content. You had a platform called Vine. A number of years ago, Vine you were allowed to upload videos that were 6 seconds long. That was the USP. Every single video is 6 seconds long. When Vine closed, TikTok saw an opening. TikTok come in, 10, 15-second clips. Instagram then copied that idea due to the popularity. Reels, Meta owns Instagram. Meta moved that across to Facebook, etc. So TikTok has really driven the popularity of easy to digest short form video content compared to a YouTube 10, 15, 20, 30-minute video. It has a built-in discovery algorithm, which makes it easier to go viral with the right content. Going viral isn't for everybody. If you're a local business, you might not need to go viral, but there's nothing wrong with going viral. When we say go viral, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, over 1 million. The more people that see your content, regardless of where they are in the world, it's surely a good thing. And then it can turn that virality into potential local customers. Yeah.
So we have a question online from Kelly from Ashwood Borough Council. Do you know if there is any update regarding the legality around local government organisations using TikTok as a platform? As at the moment, we understand we can't, which is a shame. Thank you.
If I'm being honest, I haven't heard of any legalities with regards to local governments banning TikTok or stopping people from using TikTok. It was a big thing in America earlier this year, where TikTok and Donald Trump said, you're not going to use TikTok unless, I can't remember the ins and outs of it, but unless it become Americanized somehow. With that, TikTok closed down for 3 days and everyone in America couldn't log in. I am not aware of something similar happening in the UK. It may have been spoken about around the same time as the American challenge. But from my knowledge, there isn't any problem. And I am aware of local councils, other professional services having Instagram accounts, having TikTok accounts to boost the awareness and the authenticity of the council within that area. So I can't answer your question fully, but to my knowledge, the answer is no. TikTok is great for educating, entertaining, and showing personality. In this shot here, this was my client, Andy from Forward Plan, independent financial advisor. Hated video, didn't like video. I persuaded him last week off the back of the autumn budget that we can happily create a post outlining the key points, but do you know what would be better? Getting you on camera, you explain 4 key things about the autumn budget from a financial planning perspective. And he done that. This video is a behind the scenes. This is on my TikTok channel. And all I say there is point of view. So in terms of you're sat there watching us, you're a client and I mic you up ready to be filmed for the first time for social media content. That's all it is. It's a behind the scenes post. Andy's talking, Andy's nervous. I'm putting a mic on him. It's very natural. But I'd highly recommend as many of you as possible giving TikTok, Instagram Reels a go. So top tips to optimize. Again, use trending sounds early or trending videos early. You don't have to dance. And I'll go into that in the next one. There's something called a hook. How can you hook someone in the first 3 seconds? Because otherwise they're just going to scroll. 3 seconds, 3 seconds. You can't start the video going, well, because I would have gone. It needs to be something along the lines of which we had for a client last week. A customer was charged or quoted £950 for a drainage and plumbing call out. Immediately, you're going to go, whoa, what? In the background, he recorded it whilst he was recording the work. Customer even said it. That was the hook. Because someone's gone, why £950 for a call out charge? That's absurd. That was the hook. That video right now has got 90,000 views after 4 days. So think about the hook. How can you hook people into your video, into the context within 3 seconds? Post consistently, ideally 3 to 5 times per week if you really want to grow. However, as with optimized times, you don't have to post every single day on social media. Post as much or as little as you want to, you just have to be consistent. That's the key thing, consistency. Me, for the last quarter, I was posting every single day. This quarter, I'm posting Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 7 a.m. because the majority of people view social media as soon as they wake up. Hashtags, very similar to Instagram. TikTok very recently brought in a 5 hashtag max limit. Only use relevant hashtags which relate to your business or relate to the video. The screenshot from this video here, I went behind the scenes. We have a client who was presenting at the Kent County Show. We visited him with some leaflets he wanted printing and designing on a 24-hour service. We did it for him. We drove them up from Dover to Maidstone, very personal service. And then he said, here, thanks for that. You can have a free ticket. Come in, experience the event. And that's exactly what we did. We showcased the process of helping a customer. And that video done really well. More tips to optimize. Engage immediately after posting. Reply to comments. Alternatively, go live. There's a few in this room. There's a few online who are aware of a local, I can't call him a celebrity. I've known him too long, but Aaron Kraskell is very good at social media. What he does is before he posts a new video, he will go live for 15, 20 minutes to engage with his community. Now, he is a content creator. Key is massive. Alternatively, it's a very, very good trick to getting people online. So-and-so's just gone live. Why don't you join them? And then what he will do is go, right, 20-minute countdown to my post, my new video going live, my new post. Get people engaging with the content before a post goes live if you have the time. Where you can, use text to include your keywords as well as captions. You see here on this video, this was a business video. And what we did was we used a soundbite from the film Step Brothers, where they guessed their favorite thing. And this gentleman here is from another agency, but we both love wrestling. So we said, on the count of 3, name me your favorite WWE Premium Live event. So off the back of that video, even though it was a digital marketing focus, we included WWE Premium Live events, the Step Brothers song. We were able to target so many different communities with that, and it done really, really well. With captions, people tend to scroll with the sound off late at night or early in the morning, which means if you don't have captions and someone's talking to you and you can't turn it up for fear of waking up your wife, your husband, your partner, your child, they can read the captions. Do not sit on the inability to use captions. Always include them if you can with every single post. Captions, once again, always use keywords. Keywords, keywords, keywords. So in your copy, hashtags where necessary, text on screen, captions. Batch create your content. Now, what that means is you could spend a couple of hours thinking of ideas, put it all together, filming it, writing it all up. It could take you a day to do all of that. Put it into the schedule. It's all done for 1 month. You don't have to think about it. 1 month. Not only that, when it goes live, you can actually repurpose it across Instagram Reels, Facebook Reels, YouTube Shorts, LinkedIn. So you've gone from creating 10 videos for the month for TikTok to actually creating 50 pieces of content on 5 different platforms targeting so many different people. TikTok and video, short form video content is all about telling stories. Tell a story of how you started the business. Tell a story of why you started the business. Tell a story about what you did before you started the business. Just tell a story. Tell a story about how you helped a client. Tell a story about a negative experience with a client. Negative content, negative comments aren't always considered a negative. They are a positive. People will respond a lot more to you bitching about someone, excuse my French, or bitching about something else than a positive video. So as we said there, things can sit still. You don't have to dance on TikTok. TikTok had this, it had this like attribution that for it to trend, I've got to do a dance. And yeah, it was funny because that was what happened during the time of COVID. Everyone was bored. TikTok just come out. All these songs were doing well. There was a dance. There's a video still of me on my social media for 5 years ago doing that weekend dance. So I know exactly what it was like, but you don't have to dance. Add text on screen where necessary, as we said in the previous slide. Include your keywords. A really, really interesting point to note when you're scrolling through social media in general, but predominantly TikTok. If something is trending and you don't know about it, every 2 or 3 videos, you will see that same song or that same attribute being acted out on camera. And then you'll go, right, this is trending. If I'm being shown it in every 2, 3 videos, it's trending. I need to jump on it. That is TikTok sign to say, if you don't jump on this, you're going to miss the boat. So we have something at the business called the 1 Million Club. We was on course this year to not have a video in the 1 Million Club until 2 weeks ago. And another client's video went viral. We don't promise we can make your video go viral. What we just do is we encourage the algorithm to put it in front of as many people as possible. And these were 3 of them. So the one on the left was 2 weeks back. And what's the key thing there? It's Christmas. It's a popular topic. When the social media guy wants to start creating Christmas content. The music to that video in particular was the song Crazy Train by Black Sabbath. But it was played on tubes or something. But what I did was, from an idea I found, I got Christmas wrapping paper and banged in time. And that's all it was. Now, I've seen that video so many times, but I thought, you know, it'd be a really good one to do it for these guys. That's the great thing with social media. 1.3 million people hadn't seen that video, and 15,000 commented going, this is brilliant. I've seen that video 3 times. I've seen that video so many times over the last 3 years at this time of year. So it's not just about new content. You can take ideas from other people, add your own context to it, and it will still do well. I'm unsure if you can see on that screenshot, we used to work with a client called the Dog at Wingham, and there is a video, the middle one, with the red, and it's got 3.3 million views. This was one that was picked up by a publishing company, Lab Bible Australia, done really well. This was a very simple behind the scenes post, and this idea come from the fact that I'd had a really stressful morning. I was visiting these guys at midday and I fancied a beer, which is very unprofessional, but it's a pub. I said, do you know what? We're going to do a blindfolded pint pouring challenge. The owner did it first of all. It fell on the floor and it shook everyone. And I knew that was my hook. A pint of beer falling on the floor, liquid gold. It's going to send people crazy. And that's exactly what it did. A lot of the comments were about how people were laying in bed watching it. And it actually made them jolt because they didn't expect the beer glass to fall on the floor. And then the White Horse in Dover, just up the roads, we did a couple of videos for them. We've got 2 million on the middle one again. And then it says muted, but that was about 1.3 million. The first one was a very, very simple idea where I just said, you're either this or you're that. There's people that, how normal people finish their meals versus people that work in hospitality. So how normal people finish their meals, knife and fork down, done. People that work in hospitality, they will start to collect up all the plates, put all the food onto one plate, stack them on top of each other so that the waiter, waitress can come along and take them away. Very relatable. But actually, the amount of people on there going, well, I've never worked in hospitality, but that's what I do because it's polite. So it was a very opinionated piece, and that's why it done so well. But a lot of the videos are from hospitality because they're relatable. People love food and drink. So think about this. What is something you get asked all the time in your business? For me, the questions here have been really, really good about optimized time, optimized posting. How do we optimize a post? They're great questions. And then with your answers, that's a TikTok. That's all it is. Like I'm speaking to you today in front of a camera with people in the room watching as well. Set your camera up, answer it. That's all it is. Done. Incorporate your keywords, add a title. You have just answered a question for someone who needed that answer. If they trust you, the trust will lead to a follow. If they follow you more and start liking more and more of your content, by the time they potentially need your services, they're going to go, do you know what? There's a guy I follow on TikTok or Instagram, and he actually mentioned this. So let's get in touch with him and see if he can help. And again, just think about this. Who here thinks that they're not interesting enough for TikTok? Throw that out. You don't need to be interesting. I have a wrestling TikTok, which has got 4,500, and I hate posting on there because I think, are people going to watch it? Why am I giving my opinion on wrestling? And I love wrestling. I've always got an opinion on it. But as soon as I give an opinion, that's it. It goes out to every other wrestling fan in the world. But effectively, me saying that I don't like talking about that, I think that would be boring. Someone else is going to find insightful. And that's really something to consider. If I find it boring talking about it because I do it day in, day out, it's my work. But then someone else who doesn't see it day in, day out, they're going to find it insightful. And that's the way to train your thinking. So again, much like with all the posts, don't chase perfection, chase attention. TikTok doesn't care about how shiny it looks. It cares about how quickly people watch, how long they stay, and how real you sound. So that's TikTok section. Move on to LinkedIn. Any questions, Bron?
Not at the moment.
Perfect. No problem at all. How are we doing for time as well, please?
We're all good.
Perfect. Wonderful. So the final platform we're going to talk about before we go into how to come up with content ideas is LinkedIn. It is the professional network. It is the professional social media platform. You said there was no questions.
Well, so now he's telling me off because it came in hot off the press from
Okay.
Imogen. Thank you for that, Imogen. So, can you recommend any reel making courses?
No, I can't, Imogen. I generally think the best thing you can do is give it a go yourself. Just record yourself talking about what you need to talk about, filming what you need to film, upload it, measure it. Off the back of that, see what you did and then put it into another video. If it doesn't perform as well, go, well, what's the difference between these two? Exactly the same for the third video. It goes on and on and on and on. I used to actually create all of my video content within the TikTok app. Now I use CapCut because it's so much better to do. It's whatever is easiest for you, but no, I don't recommend a real course. Definitely give it a go yourself. Yes.
For online, Holly Banfield, any advice on what to share when you are still building your business? What to share when still building your business? I haven't officially launched, but building an app. I'm trying to share my personal journey. I'm not sure I'm quite reaching out to who I want. I'd like to focus on building a community first, more than selling.
Okay. Keywords. Keywords are the key thing here. Include them in what you're talking about. Include them in your title. Include them in your copy. A community is great, but effectively you want people to download the app, directly target those whose problem you are fixing. It's a good one for me. Social media. I want to speak to business owners that struggle with content ideas and who don't have the time to manage their social media. I come in, I save them time to focus on other areas of the business. Make sure you are fixing a problem for them. You will build your community and get potential sales. Yep.
So 2 in 1 from Joe here. What about equipment to video yourself, and any recommendation in terms of things like tripods?
Yeah, so Brian and everyone here can back me up today. I've actually got my own tripod set up over here.
Very professional as well.
It's simple off Amazon. It is a very simple $7.99 tripod. And I have a microphone here as well as speaking to you guys here. I'm recording myself, so this is my own microphone at £40. Apart from that, you don't really need anything else. I definitely recommend a good phone. A great tip I will always recommend is always film with natural light. If you can't film with natural light, get an authentic, what's the word? Get a fake light as such, something that attaches to your phone. So if you need to film somewhere it is dark, make it clear. Nobody will watch a video if, one, it's too grainy, and two, you really can't understand the context of what you're looking to see. But look on Amazon. You don't need to spend an absolute bomb on content creating equipment. Anything else, Brian?
No, just double checking so I don't get told off.
Yep.
No, nothing at the moment.
Perfect, wonderful.
Oh,
So LinkedIn is one that I've been toying with more and more over the last 2-3 years. And as you'll see there, this is my personal LinkedIn profile. I've got 1,433 followers and over 500 connections. The difference between that is people will connect with you if they know you, if they want to do business with you. People will follow you if they think your content is good, they trust it, they find it really insightful, and they want to see more of it. I'm trying to position myself as an expert in the field of digital marketing by talking about everything digital marketing. And I've seen there again on the bio, I help UK businesses increase their digital presence. I also raise awareness of men's mental health, and I'm a proud autistic business owner. So that's me. I've included my keywords. I say what I do. People want to follow. I love it. So from a LinkedIn personal perspective, I would always recommend giving this a go. The business side, a business page is, again, it's a great platform to share business updates, professional updates, certificates, a qualification you've just got, a promotion you've just got. You may have donated to a charitable event. Fantastic. Corporate social responsibility is always very, very good for a LinkedIn business page. When it comes to your personal profile, in terms of positioning yourself as an expert in your field, be as authentic as possible. People don't want you to sell to them. They want to hear about your journey as a business owner. I love LinkedIn because from this post here, all I've done is I've said I'm currently sat at the Arida Hotel in Maidstone, waiting in the lobby as I'm going to be part of a panel event for International Men's Day hosted by HSBC. And underneath that, I said, I'm really nervous. I don't feel like I should be here. And on face value, a lot of business owners will just go, nah, do you know what? I'm here. I deserve to be here. I try to be as real as possible as a business owner. Being a business owner is not easy. It's one of the hardest jobs in the world, by far the most difficult job I've ever done. I want to work with business owners. The best way to connect with other business owners, talk real from a business owner perspective. So post as yourself. People buy from people. I said this earlier on. People buy from people. They don't buy from companies. They buy from trusted people. I'm not a one-off product. I'm a service. They need to trust me before they can commit to me doing a service for them. Again, use storytelling. One-line paragraphs. Easy to read. More scrolls equals more reach. There is a little more tab to the right, just above the photo, which I don't think you might be able to see as well. But as soon as you click that, that's one piece of engagement, and it opens up and shows the rest of the caption. Tag people and companies, but only if it's relevant. I tagged in this post here Arida Hotels Maidstone, as well as HSBC. Don't tag if you don't have to. Also, tag people and businesses that you know will respond. That's starting a conversation. Again, use native content. LinkedIn is the only platform that allows you to upload PDFs, white label services, a white label document. Provide information that way. Text posts and short videos also perform well, but do not use long paragraphs. I would always recommend easy to digest, 5, 6, 7 word lines. Post at business-friendly times. Whereas Facebook and Instagram are predominantly for outside of work, LinkedIn is predominantly during those working hours. But again, use your common sense. I post on LinkedIn at 7 a.m. because that's when the majority of my people that engage are on LinkedIn. This is a post I did. I lost a friend, football friend, to mental health a couple of weeks back. And again, it was just a very honest post. He was 38 years old, very young. So again, part of my ethos. I talk about men's mental health. I raise awareness to suicide in young men. And again, it's nothing to do with business. But people will connect with you on a level if you are real and you're authentic. Similar to Facebook, do not use links in posts. Use comments or let them come to you. Direct people at the bottom of the post that the link is in the comments. One thing I glossed over during TikTok and Instagram is that they do not allow for workable links within their content. Do not upload a link to Instagram or TikTok. You will not be able to click it. It is frustrating. And if people do not know that, they will become frustrated at you. Direct them to link in bio. Click the link in the bio to find where you need to go. Comment and engagement. Spend 10 minutes engaging on other posts before or after you post, or before and after you post. Very similar to what I said about Aaron Kraskell's way of strategizing before a post comes out. Be active on social media for 10 minutes, engaging with people within your niche, within your topic of discussion that you're going to be posting about. Upload the post, continue to do it for another 10 minutes after that. That will tell the social media gods that you are active and will push it to more people. Once again, be consistent. Once or twice a week is fine. I'm testing three posts per week, as I mentioned, for the time being, but do not vanish. I see so many social media agencies, social media freelancers come into the industry, and within 3 to 6 months, they do not post again. And I go, either that lasted long, they've given up, or actually they're just so busy they forget to post. But I don't know that. I might think they've gone out of business. If they've not posted since September 2024, they probably have. So remain consistent. So again, as you mentioned here, people buy from people, do not sell. One post I did here just says, say hello to our new social media marketing clients. We've tagged them. I'm not gaining from it. I'm actually tagging them, increasing their awareness on my own feed. That can only benefit them. Short text only posts still perform, whereas on Facebook and Instagram, they don't really. LinkedIn is definitely the way forward for that. And again, repurpose any stories from Instagram and Facebook. If it works on Facebook and Instagram, turn it into a business lesson. Why did it work? This is what we did. Provide education, provide tips, provide insight. If you can help someone learn something new, they will appreciate that so much. I love learning new stuff. TikTok hacks is a fantastic one. People will show you how you could have used your microwave to do this. And I'll go, never realized that, never would have considered it, but I trust that. And I'm going to give it a go. I've given it a go. I am amazed. I'm going to follow you. So any insights or tips and tricks you can get as little freebies will lead to the bigger picture of services, sales. So something to consider again, if you had to post on LinkedIn today, what's a recent business win or a personal win? What challenge have you overcome, or what challenge are you about to attempt, or a moment of pride you could share? For example, for me today, this is my second speaking post, my second speaking event this quarter. I will do a post on this because I'm incredibly proud of this. 5 years ago nearly, when I started my business, I could not speak in front of a crowd, yet I used to be a musician. I'm now speaking online to all of you people and all these people in the room today. So for me, that's something massive for me, definitely. For someone that is diagnosed autistic, we can be quite awkward. But the fact I'm up here speaking to people today, I'd see it as a massive win. And again, who here has tagged a client or partner on LinkedIn in the last month? Create conversations. Every time I meet a client, new client, anyone I network with, have a conversation with, I will try and get a photo of us. Then I'll tag them in it. Thank you very much. It doesn't just go to my followers on LinkedIn. It will be shown to their followers. I've got 1.4 thousand followers on LinkedIn. I have a photo of Brian after the event. Brian, how many followers have you got on LinkedIn?
1,000.
Well over 1,000. If I tag Brian in my post, that is the potential to reach another 1,000 people just today alone. And that's the power of creating conversations. If Brian responds to my post, which he will, that's the potential to go to even more people. If I tag today the Kent and Medway Business Growth Hub, I did say that right, didn't I? That's potential for more people to see my content. So create conversations. They really are key. So your task for today after this, create a post about this event, tag myself, tag someone else in this room or someone else within the online community, and then look at the insights compared to a post where you didn't tag anyone. You will be pleasantly surprised. So LinkedIn isn't just for suits and CVs anymore. It's for real people running real businesses in real towns, just like you. Now, in terms of how we help businesses with social media, again, there's a couple of examples here, but the key things to take away from here is we incorporate faces into a lot of our social media posts. The workshop is a co-working space in Folkestone. That's where I'm based. We help them with their social media. The marketing strategy we have there is I approach Lisa, as if I've got a question from a member. I will chase after her, ask her a premeditated question. That's an educational piece. How many times can I come into the workshop? How often can I visit the workshop? And actually not from a, Lisa, can you just ask me this question? It's an, oh, I'm sorry, Lisa, I've just got a quick question. And then she'll answer it as the manager of the workshop and I'm a member. We're kind of acting it out. Key retreats, they're a holiday home business with holiday homes based around the coast. What I do is here, this is very aesthetic. This is where Instagram does very well with these guys. It's really about showcasing not just the property, but also how you can act in the property. Set up making a coffee, set up relaxing, set up watching TV, set up a board game, make it real, make it authentic. And then 24 Cafe again in Hythe. Graham's brilliant. Me and Graham getting like house on fire. But I've only known him since February, and not just from a professional but personal perspective as well. When I first met Graham, he was very, okay, yeah, I'm happy to be on camera. I don't really want to do much talking. He now has a moniker on his social media called Chef Dad. And what he does is he shows us every single bit of food in the venue. We portray it. That is a full English breakfast. That video got seen by 70,000 people because everybody's got an opinion on a full English breakfast. Create pieces of content which will cause people to respond. Hash brown shouldn't be on an English breakfast. I disagree. Vegetables shouldn't be on an English breakfast. Probably agree. But again, that's what they do. It got people talking. So consider this as well when you think about how you're going to approach social media. Brand awareness, reach as many people as possible. Lead generation, you can do that through paid social media. Local store, like Bluebirds here. It is a fixed bricks and mortar venue. They want people to come to them. So you consider local marketing. Community engagement, as one of the people said online. Create a Facebook group. Add as many people in there that you think would benefit from joining your community. Get them to invite people as well. If you want to get website traffic, include links in your posts. Just remember to do it the way we've explained today. Boost engagement. Create opinionated pieces or ask people for their opinion. There is nothing better from a human perspective of being asked, what's your opinion on this? The human race loves it. But then one of the key things that we help businesses with is how do we come up with content ideas? We mentioned that we do use ChatGPT at times when we're having a bit of a mind blank to help us brainstorm ideas. But effectively what we do is we choose 4 content categories a quarter. I'll go into content category on the next slide. We bulk create content around these categories, post in the appropriate formats, measure success, analyze, and then review at the end of the quarter and switch out the least responsive. So effectively, we call it a bucket. You can go, this is my bucket for services, education, inspiration, behind the scenes. They're my 4. However, you might go, do you know what? I like commenting on my industry and I need to comment on what's changing in my industry. So we'll include the relatable industry news option. Education, for instance, for me, it could be, how do you tag a location on my social media post? Something that I know how to do very, very simply, but as someone on the online community mentioned, how do you do it? So you've taken that away and you've found that very helpful. Behind the scenes. Show, if you're working at home, the fact your dog is there lying on your lap. Your dog is in a bed basket next to you. You know, it's behind the scenes. It's how you're working. People will connect with that more. National holidays. I love national holidays. You could have a national ice cream day, which is great for someone selling ice cream. How would you context that for your business? For me, you've got Christmas, Boxing Day, New Year's Day, New Year's Eve. National Coffee Day is a great one for me. I love a black Americano. So I post about National Coffee Day. This is what I drink. And as a fun fact, I've only started drinking coffee in the last 10 years. Before that, growing up, I hated tea, coffee, any hot drinks. It was pure fizz. So I just tell my story of how I've gone from white coffee with plenty of milk with 2 sugars to all I drink now is black coffee, pure black coffee. So there are a number of content categories that you can go, right, relatable industry humor. One for me, again, would be businesses struggling with time. So you could find something humorous and go, when a business owner has no time to post on their socials, but I'm not too sure. I've got nothing off the top of my head. But it could be something that relates to that. And if it's relatable content, your target audience will go, oh, yeah, that's really relatable. I like this guy. I'm going to give him a follow. And if you do work in a venue much like Bluebirds here today, or anything where you have customers, user-generated content is by far the most trusted content there is. There is nothing better than someone being at your venue, using your product, your service, showing them using it, posting it to their friends on social media. That is the ultimate trust post. Food naturally does it very well. Gwen's got lovely coffee from an independent coffee shop up here. Take a photo of it, Dover in the background, tag the venue. That's their product. User-generated content is brilliant. And as such, what we look to do is we look to provide value, which is really, really key when it comes to social media marketing. Saving businesses time to focus on other areas of their business. We are the experts. We stay up to date with the latest trends and the latest news. And the key one here is reduce stress. There are so many social media platforms, and it's very overwhelming. Very overwhelming. If you're unsure what to post or not sure where best to post, we manage all of that for everyone. And I think, do we have any more questions, Brian?
None online, but I invite people online to just think of any more questions, because I believe we're going to be wrapping up shortly.
Yeah, so that's it.
So we'll just have a quick look.
Yes.
I have one question. I heard some of them, like they may be a month's worth of content, obviously depending on the content, depending on the but let's reuse that cyclically. Yeah. You can ask to repeat the question back.
Of course. So the question was, you heard it was best to batch create content and then repeat it throughout the year. Okay. So it's something we call repurposing. So if we post this month about a social media trend or something to do with TikTok, and then 4 months down the line it happens again, we could reshare the content but slightly tweak the creative or the copy. But yes, you can repurpose that. Or again, if you're struggling for ideas 3-4 months down the line, because can you remember what you saw on your favorite social media businesses page 4 months ago? And if I put it out tomorrow, would you go, do you know what? 4 months ago, I saw that post. That's a bit weird. So the answer is no. But I wouldn't get into a phase of religiously, here's 3 months. We'll do that 3 months' time. We'll do that. I wouldn't get into that phase. But do repurpose your most popular pieces of content and target them to new audiences. Yes.
You said about microwave tips. That's exactly what we do, microwave.
Yep.
And there's lots of content that comes my way.
Yep.
Should I rehash or should I do it from scratch? For instance, recipes, or is it okay just to repost and move that around?
No problem. So if it comes from you, it's original content, which means you're adding something new into the algorithm, which the social media people like. A lot of the ideas that are humorous that I find, other people have created them first, and I just recontextualize them for my client. If the client's in America, Brazil, I'm not going to tag them. If it's something local that I really, really enjoy, or a national business, I'll go, thanks for the influence or for the inspiration, tag the person. But for me, always recreate the content in your own format. If you don't have time, share, repost, add your comments. This is a fantastic tip for how to use this in our microwaves. Give it a go. And then off the back of that, you could go, we shared a post last week. Here's how we do this in the microwave. Done. So you've got multiple content ideas. What?
So Carly just said that was brilliant. Thank you very much. That's much appreciated, Carly, for the feedback. Kelly, again, reiterating that the very nice social media webinar. Thank you for all the tips and so on and so forth. And just for Judith, I believe the social media presentation can be available afterwards with the video.
Yep.
So if there's other parts that you thought that you could have perhaps gone through in more detail, the video and the presentation will be made available to you after the presentation.
Yep.
And again, Nicola saying, thanks so much. I find social media is challenging. This has really helped. So some very positive feedback there.
Fantastic.
Any more from in the room?
Very good. Thank you.
Yeah, no worries at all. Thank you so much for popping along. Appreciate that.
Thank you very much.
Thank you everyone online as well.
Thank you very much for that, Tom. Much appreciated. The comments online and people in the room, I've really clearly appreciated that. And there was a lot that touched myself with regards to some of the stuff I thought I knew I didn't know clearly in that case. So there's a couple of bits and pieces from myself, if I may. there is the QR code that I would just like to show you. So if you scan the QR code and register on that, there is more support available from the Growth Hub. So we will contact you in due course, and then we can understand your business in more detail and understand your challenges, and hopefully come up with a way of helping you through your challenges. I would just like to bring your attention to an event that is on the 9th next week, next Tuesday. It's a roadshow, Dartford Living, and it's in person. If you go on the Kent and Medway Growth Hub website, there are full details on there. And we have also got another event that I would quickly like to bring your attention to, if I may. If my mobile lets me go into it, obviously, because, you know, it wouldn't be an event unless the... So we have an SEO workshop on February 11th online. If you go on to the Kent and Medway Growth Hub website again, and we will be issuing tickets from Eventbrite. So if I could ask you to go on there, that would be a great event for you to participate in potentially. Now it's a time for us to end the webinar unless there is any other questions. So let me just quickly make sure there is no other questions. Yep. It's a roadshow, so there is it's Dartford Living live in person. So again, if you go onto the website, there are more details on the itinerary will be on there. Again, the Kent and Medway Growth Hub website will give you more details on that. That is next week, next Tuesday, from 7 o'clock till 9 o'clock. Okay. As for the people online, many thanks for your engagement today. It's been fantastic. We've loved having the questions, and I believe Tom has enjoyed answering them. But for the people in the room now, it's time for us to do some networking. Many thanks and goodbye.